Anthony, is any of this inflation based on just too much money sloshing around, whether it's fiscal or whether it was the Fed's fault with M2 growth and everything else? And why wouldn't Bitcoin be a lot higher if it really was based on a devaluing currency?
So there's a couple things there. So yes, Joe, you've got a 40+ increase in M2 since the start of the pandemic. So that's just a tremendous amount of money chasing assets, if you will, but also chasing things in the supply chain, which got disconnected as a result of COVID. So there's no surprise that we have this inflation. In fact, it's probably higher than what even the statistics are actually stating. But as it relates to Bitcoin, I've said consistently on this show that Bitcoin still is not a mature enough asset to be regarded as a potential inflation hedge. You just don't have the wallet bandwidth in Bitcoin. When I bought my first Bitcoin, it was about 80 million wallets according to Glassnodes. There's probably 300 million wallets globally today. Until you get into the billion plus zone, Joe, I don't think you're going to see Bitcoin as an inflation hedge. It's still an early adopting technical asset. But I will say this, people are not paying close enough attention to what BlackRock is doing. If Larry Fink and his team is setting up a product related to Bitcoin, that is telling you that there is institutional demand out there. Whether they have a positive or negative opinion on Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. There was an expression back at Goldman Sachs in the early 90s, Joe, feed the ducks. If the ducks want Bitcoin, set up a product and feed the ducks. And so I think this is a huge thing that's not being, it's not saying it's overlooked, but it's just not being expounded upon as much as it should be.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think. And we now have the virtual wrapper for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And we know they're just getting started. Now, anytime the market takes a beating, what comes up? Inflation and the Fed. And we know Congress and the Fed are responsible for all this inflation. And they're going to be responsible for destroying the global economy so the Fourth Industrial Revolution can rise. But that's the reason why Bitcoin and crypto are so important. Because it allows the Fed to keep the same exact system they have right now. It's just digital, which is going to cause hyper deflation. Because we know the robots, algorithms, and drones are going to take over the economy. They don't need a lunch break. They don't need health care. They're not going to call in sick. And right now, Bitcoin and crypto is not looking like a good hedge. The reason why is because we know when it comes to the NWO, they make it seem like everything is falling. And then all of a sudden, the chosen ones rise. They've done it several times in stocks. And we're going to see that 0.5% rise in crypto. We see what the big banks and big corporations have been funding from the beginning. I know I show you on my channel all the time. Now, we've had big companies doing stock splits. We have Tesla on August 24th, Amazon, Google, and of course, we've had the meme stock, AMC, and we know why. We see all these companies positioning themselves for the crash of the global economy. And the media is going to keep riding the Hegelian dialectic, making you indecisive. Those who are looking 5 and 10 years down the road always win. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
How connected do you see right now crypto and what we're seeing is that sort of the meme stock is back? I mean, look, we were watching the wild roller coaster of Bed Bath & Beyond, Joe, and our favorite company that we like to go visit. But you're seeing GameStop. I mean, you're seeing it. Yeah, obviously, we got AMC this morning issuing this new security. I mean, what's happening here, and are they related?
I think they're related. I think that's signaling to you that there's still pockets of excess liquidity in the marketplace. There are still people that have made a ton of money over the last couple of years that are going to dabble in that momentum and play those sort of B-swarm trades one way or the other. Listen, I'm of the belief, I'm in the Alan Patrikoff camp as it relates to the inflation. I think things are going to settle out. I think people are going to be surprised at the strength of the market going into the back half of the year and into early 2023. You can see it. Every time there's a little bit of good news, markets have a very strong rally. The crypto markets have a very strong rally. It just seems like there's a ton of short positions out there, Andrew, and people get their faces ripped off when they least expect it. Trust me, it's happened to me more than once.
Drivers, with most of the action happening outside of the U.S. Less than 5% of revenue came from its U.S. subsidiary, and FTX has really made.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the Fourth Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.